Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I really appreciate you watching my videos. In today's video, I'm sharing with you my last week's sales, what sold from Sunday, January 26th through Saturday, February 1st, okay? And these 6 days, I sold 45 items, and I actually had a better week than the previous week because I sold higher dollar amount items, which left me with a higher profit, okay? Before I get started though, my name is Celeste. I love selling on eBay and I love teaching you how to be successful on eBay as well. So if you would like to learn more tips about eBay, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Also, if you like this video and enjoy these type of videos, go ahead and like it. So that I can continue making these type of videos, okay? This previous week, I sold the items from 99 cents to $65, okay? So I'm sharing these items in no particular order. So I'll start with the first one. It was this Torrid faux leather jacket that I sold for $30. Somebody sent me an offer for $30 and I accepted. I had it at $39.99 and I thought that was a pretty great offer. I got it at a regular thrift store. It was originally $12.99, but it was sale Saturday, and so it was 50% off, and so I got it for $6.49. Next was a Free People dress that I also got at a regular thrift store for $5 and I sold for $28. Again, somebody sent me an offer for $28. I didn't counter, I just accepted. The next was this Free People tank top that sold for $14.99. I actually sent an offer to Watchers and it sold for $14.99. I got this one at a regular thrift store for $3. The next were some Levi's Bermuda shorts that I actually scored from the bins. If you don't know what the bins are, they're actually a Goodwill outlet where you pay by the pound. You basically go through these bins and you end up paying by the pound. At my area, I live in Arizona, we actually pay $1.39 per pound. And so this was an item that I picked up at the bins and I scored, so it was roughly about $1 because of the weight. So this item sold for $16.99. The next item, I actually went thrifting with my sister one day. She's not a reseller. She used to actually resell just a bit. She was actually shopping for herself, but as she was shopping for herself, she saw anything that caught her eye that she thought might be worth some money. She picked it up for me. So she scored this Tasha Polizzi multicolored top, and I ended up selling it for $27.99. I had previously, the first time I found this one, it was a cardigan, like a knit cardigan, and it actually sold right away for $39.99. The tops aren't as popular as the cardigans, of course, so that's why I sold it for less, but that's definitely an item to look out for. The next is a Madewell floral top that sold through best offer for $20. I got this one at the bins. I actually ended up paying a lady for it there. And you know, that's another strategy you can use. Just recently, about a week ago, I was shopping and I just happened to look in somebody's cart, and this lady had like a very cute fleece jacket. It caught my eye right away. And so when I took a closer look, when I passed by closer, I noticed that it was a cool jacket. So I thought, oh my God, like I really want it. It was really nice. And I thought maybe I would like it for myself, or to resell, of course. So I very nicely approached the lady and I asked her if I can see the jacket because it was really nice. She said, yeah, go ahead. So I saw it, I looked at it, and I told her, would you be interested in selling it to me? She said, yeah. So I just thought, I'd offer her some money for it, but even before she paid for it. And so I offered her $5 for it, and she said, yeah, that was fine. So thank goodness I had cash that day. So I just paid her $5 and I kept the jacket. So I still paid for it. But all in all, I think I paid maybe $5 or $6 for, but I'm hoping to make a lot more money for it. Okay, so that's another strategy you can use. Of course, not everyone's going to say yes to you, but you never know. You don't know. It doesn't hurt to ask. Okay, the worst thing they can say is no, and then you could just move on. The next thing I sold, I grabbed from a regular thrift store for $5. It was this Lily Pulitzer dress. This actually ended up selling for $19.99 through auction. I actually ended up auctioning it because I didn't notice at the store, and I picked it up that I had a stain up here. that didn't come out when I washed it, so that's why I auctioned it. So I was fine with getting $19.99. The customer actually was also happy. They already gave me feedback and they were happy with it. Next is this Kate Chapman like silk velvety jacket. This was actually one that I risked. I had never picked up this brand. Comps looked okay, but I really wasn't sure, but I decided to risk it. I paid $3 at a regular thrift store. I decided to risk it because it reminded me of a jacket that I had previously purchased like maybe a year ago. I remember I was on the fence about getting it or not, and then I figured it was $2, you know, might as well take the risk. When I looked up sold comparables, there weren't many for sale and not many had sold. So I remember auctioning it off and thinking it's not going to sell for that much, but it ended up, you know, there was a bidding war going on. I think 2 or 3 buyers were bidding on it, and it ended up selling for over $100. So this jacket reminded me of that. It didn't sell for that much, but the style was definitely something that, you know, I thought somebody wouldn't like. So at $20, I'm fine. The next is this standard James purse top. This actually sold for $9.99. I got this one from the bin, so it was very cheap, about 50 to 75 cents. And I thought, you know, it would be an easy sale. These are some Miss Me jeans that I've had for some time. And which is surprising because they're straight jeans, but like I said, Miss Me, for me at least, they don't seem to be selling as quickly and for as much. So I decided just to get rid of them last week, and so I auctioned them starting price 99 cents, and they sold for $4.25, which I was okay with, you know, ready to get rid of them and for them to find a new home, and hopefully the buyer is happy. The next that sold was this J. Jill top, linen top that I found from the bins. Again, it was about 50 to 75 cents, less than $1, and I sold for $9.99. So it was a quick and easy sale, and I actually got positive feedback for it already. The buyer loved it. Again, when I do auctions, I do them to bring sales to my other traffic to my store, and then I also think about, you know, returning customers. If a customer is happy with an item, they're gonna keep returning to your store and they're going to keep buying from your store. And I have this all the time. I have like so many returning customers that are happy with their items, and they keep coming back to my store and they keep buying from me. So again, that's a good strategy to bring customers to your store. They love getting a great deal, and I promise they will keep coming back. The next is the Lululemon tank top. This tank top, actually, I showed you in my previous video. It took some time to sell. I think I put it for $9.99 maybe twice. It didn't sell, and so I actually started it for the 3rd time as a 99-cent auction, and it sold for $8.28 plus shipping. Okay, and I actually got this one from the bins as well. The next is this sun dry top. This brand usually does pretty well. If you find the sweatshirts do well, sweats do pretty well as well. I usually could sell them pretty quickly. This top I actually found at a regular thrift store, and I paid $2 for it. But I just auctioned it for $9.99 starting price because it's like a basic tee, and it sold for that price, which I was okay with. This is another Free People top that sold for $9.99. And then this is a Nike men's t-shirt that I started off at $4.99, and it sold for $5.93. Not too bad. The next, my mom actually picked up this Nike hoodie for me. We went thrifting together, and again, my mom doesn't, you know, resell, but she helps me, and she loves, I think that's where I got it from. She loves looking for great deals. I love looking for great deals and great things, so that's something she enjoys. So as she's shopping for her, she's looking and helping me. She is looking for items that I might like. Of course, 9 times out of 10, she gives me like really bad stuff. But you know, this is one of the things that was great. And I was about to leave it because it had a little wear, but she convinced me to take it, that it was really nice, so I grabbed it. I did pay about $4 or $5 for it at a regular thrift store, and I had to auction it, I felt, because it had wear and I couldn't ask for like a lot of money for it. So I started it off at a $14.99 starting auction, and it sold for $18.50, so I was still happy about that. Thank you, Mom. The next item I picked up from a regular thrift store. I remember paying about $8 or $9 for. Usually don't pick up this brand, Garnet Hill, but I picked it up because it caught my eye. It was this long duster, and so I figured I can get a pretty good profit for it. It seems like this brand, the cashmere, does well. Maybe basic brands I would skip, but the cashmere, the cardigans do better, and so that's why I decided to pick it up. It did take a few months to sell, but it sold for $33.60 when I ran a sale. This next Free People tank top I got from the bins, and it sold for $3.25. I actually started it off at a 99-cent auction, and so $3.25, that's okay. The next was this Free People tunic sweater that I also picked up from the bins that you saw in one of my previous videos. I started it off. It seems like this one was a more popular style when I looked it up, and so I started it off at $19.99. It sold for $37, but I have to say that the buyer has still not paid, so I will give the buyer a few more days and wait, and if they pay or not. I know I start unpaid item cases after a few days. I think it gives them a total of 8 days to pay. If the buyer doesn't end up paying, we'll be relisting this item again. Sell for less, it might sell for more, I don't know. But hopefully they do pay in the next couple of days. This American Apparel men's thermal shirt was a bit surprising. I didn't think I was going to get much from it. I listed it for $9.99 starting auction price, and it sold for $16.01. Somebody actually tried to buy it off as soon as I listed it, a few minutes later. And I've noticed that sometimes, that is a good indicator that you have a pretty good item and you probably underpriced it. So for me, I used to do it before, but a lot of the times, 8 times out of 10, I don't anymore. Unless they send me a pretty good offer for the item and they say, I'll pay you $20 for it, then, if I've looked at sold comparables and they weren't going for that much, then I probably will sell it. And I've done it before. This item, they were actually offering me $9.99 for it, and I figured might as well wait a few more days to see if I can get a bit more for it, then sell it for $9.99. And I'm glad I did, because I ended up selling it for $16.01, which was $6 more than what they had originally offered me. These Fabletic leggings I got at a regular thrift store. I paid about $6 for these, and they sold for $25. Tiki leggings used to sell for a lot more before. They don't sell for that much anymore. And I think it was because they're a lower rise. But somebody sent me an offer for $23, so I just took it. This Lululemon wrap sweater had a spot on the back, and so I auctioned at starting $9.99, and it sold for $11.50, which I was still happy about. I think I paid about $2 at a regular thrift store for. Another Lululemon tank top sold for $5.50. This one had a small flaw. I ended up getting this one at a regular thrift store for $2. I didn't see the flaw until I got home, so that's why I auctioned it. But $5.50, I still got my money back plus a little more, so I was fine with that. This Lululemon men's tee from the bins that had a few stains sold at $6.50. I started it off at 99 cents. Free People black tunic top sold for $19.99, and I actually got this one at a regular thrift store for $3 on sale Saturday. These Lululemon leggings I got at a regular thrift store for $3. I was surprised that they sold for that much because they had flaws. The white portion was not as bright. It had a small hole on the back, and also it was a size 2, which size 2, the smaller sizes don't sell for that much, or they take longer to sell. So I did auction it at 99 cents, and it sold for $31. So that was a surprise, but it was a nice surprise. Don't pass up items with flaws, guys, because you never know. These Free People camouflage shorts sold for 99 cents, and I actually got these from the bins. They sold for very little because they had 2 rips on the front. I still decided to risk it because you just never know, but I was okay with that still. This Columbia shirt sold for $10, and I actually got this one from the bins. I would not recommend picking up Columbia unless you get it for very little money, because it does take a while to sell, and it's not so popular anymore. So actually I wouldn't pick it up anymore. This carrots like pullover sold for $16.80. I've sold some of these for a lot more money before, but it seems like this one just took longer to sell, but I was still okay with it. This cabbie jacket, it was a newer style. I picked it up from a regular thrift store for $5, and it sold through best offer for $30. So that was a pretty great sale. This next item was this Title IX skirt that sold for $20 through best offer. I actually wasn't sure about picking this item up, but I ended up picking it up, and I'm glad I did. I paid $3.50 at a regular thrift store, and it sold for $20 within like 2 weeks. The next was a Ted Baker men's polo shirt that I picked up from the bins. It had like a broken button, but I still picked it up, and it sold for $9.99 through auction. The next was a basic Madewell tee that sold for $7.50, and again, I also picked this one up from the bins. Next was my highest sale this previous week, and it was actually this Lily Pulitzer dress. It sold for $65. Looking at sold comparables, I realized that, you know, the print was a sought after print. It's called I think it's called Stuffed Shells. It seems like it's very popular. So I listed it for a bit higher than I normally would, and I actually picked this item up from a regular thrift store for $5, so that was great. Next was this pink Victoria's Secret pink sequin shirt that sold for $8.50. I auctioned it from starting price 99 cents. This next item is a LuLaRoe piece that sold for $9.99. I would not recommend picking up LuLaRoe anymore. It's gone downhill. It doesn't sell for much anymore, and I still wouldn't pick it up. But this was an item that I've had for some time that I just finally decided to get rid of, and I think it's been 2 or 3 times that I've listed it and it hasn't sold, but it finally sold for $9.99. So that's what I'll be doing with the other items that I have in my store that are LuLaRoe, trying to get rid of. And please don't pick this brand up anymore because it's not very popular. These next jeans I found at a regular thrift store for $5, and I could assume that they did not sell at a thrift store. They were there for about a few weeks, about 3 weeks, which was surprising, but because they were flare, and these sold for $50 through best offer. This next Free People long sleeve top I've had for some time. I sent an offer for $9.99 to a buyer, and they purchased it. This Eileen Fisher linen top I sold through best offer. I purchased at a regular thrift store for $3, and I actually sold through best offer for $19. This Free People thermal I got from the bins. I paid maybe about $1 for, because it was a little bit heavier, and I sold through best offer for $20. These Lululemon Wonder Under crops I've had for several months, which is surprising, but I did have them a little bit overpriced, and they were a size 2, so they did take a few months to sell. But I finally sent an offer for $29.99 to somebody, and somebody purchased it for that amount, and they actually already gave me positive feedback. They really loved them. Next, Eileen Fisher top sold also, and it sold for $19.99 through best offer as well. And last but not least is this soft surroundings blouse that I picked up at a yard sale for $1, and it sold for $24. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned a lot from me, from the brands, from the talks, from the little tips that I give you. If so, please let me know by giving me a thumbs up and subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate you. And until next time, guys, bye-bye.